It's Edward Roske, and I'm asking good questions. How are they using AI at the World Cup? So, the 2026 men's tournament gets sold as the most automated event in sports history. The official ball has a sensor inside it that fires about 500 times a second, which means someone on the equipment staff has to charge the ball before kickoff, which is maybe the best sentence in all of sports. Every one of the 1,248 players, yes, I did the math, had to sit for a 3D body scan so the cameras can find a knee or a shoulder down to the centimeter, which means that you have more privacy than the joints of a Men's World Cup player. There are 16 cameras in every stadium that throw off more than 150 million tracking points per match. So the headline kind of writes itself. Sounds super cool. The robots have finally taken over soccer/football, depending on where you're from. Uh, be aware they did come for the referees before they came for me, which I'm choosing to take a little personally. Thought out of respect they'd take my job first. At least that's the AI picture that FIFA wants you holding in your head. But the word AI is not quite as accurate as it might seem, and none of it really is a robot in a striped shirt. So if you actually open the hood, where is the AI and what is each part of it really doing? It's about a dozen narrow tools, and they're each watching one very specific thing. So there's no single World Cup brain running the whole show. It's just a stack of separate systems, and every one of them has exactly one job. So, clearest example, offside call. 16 cameras track every limb on every player, and then the ball reports the exact instant it is kicked. And then the system rebuilds that one frozen moment in 3D to see who was past the last defender. And it does that one thing really beautifully. But if you ask it anything else, it's got absolutely nothing. It's basically a really brilliant one-trick pony. And that same shape repeats pretty much everywhere else. So there's one tool that hides abusive posts that are aimed at players. It hid more than 500,000 of them in the first week, which is nearly double the entire 2022 tournament. Although I think that number says more about us than about the software. People do better. There's another machine that watches the stands and predicts a dangerous crush about half an hour out. And there's another that tags every pass and tackle so that coaches walk away with 20,000 data points about how their team and individual players did. My honest take, I wouldn't call any of these artificial intelligence, at least the way the movies sold it to you. You can argue it's trad AI, where it has machine learning and neural networks. But in reality, each one of these is a very narrow specialist that is measuring or flagging. But right now, at least, a human then decides what it means. So the machine might spot a hand touching a ball, but the referee is still going to rule on whether the guy did it intentionally. So look ahead. Is the next wave where AI decides the calls that need judgment? Well, right now, there's a clean line. Offside, it's geometry. A machine can own that. Geometry does not have opinions. A player is past the last defender or he isn't, and a camera settles it. But what about a handball? What about a reckless foul? What about a penalty? Those turn on intent and feel. So we, right now at least, still hand them to a person. But that line is going to get pushed. Someone's going to make a call. Oh, that's not only intentional, it was meant to harm him. That's a red card, or it's a yellow card, or it's a simple foul, or you know what, that's incidental contact. By the 2030 World Cup, the cameras are going to be faster. The scans are going to be more detailed. There's going to be pressure to automate the judgment calls a whole lot louder. And I guarantee you somebody is already building that model that grades how reckless a tackle was. Whether anyone will trust its grade is the actual problem. Trust doesn't really have a standard yet, although maybe it will eventually. Now, to take it up to a business level, this is the question every business runs into, not just FIFA. You can automate the measurement long before you can automate the judgment. And the temptation is to treat them as the same job, but they aren't. Being right about offside doesn't make a tool right about intent. Knowing which calls are geometry and which calls need a human is actually most of the skill right now. So someday we'll be able to measure everything. And when the machines can finally measure it all, who gets to decide what it all means? If you found this quick and helpful, please subscribe. But until next time, keep asking good questions.